Let me tell you about one tool that I used in my classroom that revolutionized the way that my students approached a particular assessment task. Hi, my name's Tristan Heron. I am an education, innovation, and growth specialist, and I'm here to help you embrace educational technology and create future-focused classrooms. All right, so today I want to talk to you about a tool that I have talked about many times, and it is a tool that I absolutely love using. Now, hopefully I can do this because I'm walking into the sun and I can barely see anything. All right, today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite tools, because I have so many tools that I love using, but one of them is Pixton. Now, Pixton, if you haven't heard of Pixton, is an online comic creation tool. You can use it to create comics that are absolutely outstanding. You can incorporate some of those graphic novel techniques to create a whole range of different things that you can get your students to do with this tool. Pixton is so super simple. It's all drop and drag. You basically just think of your design, you jump in there, you can edit and manipulate most things. You can do settings, objects, characters, you can pop in your text, your captions. There's so many different things that you can include and use in Pixton. But this is why Pixton was revolutionary for me. So one of the things that my school had in the past was we used to have an assessment task where our students were required to create their own graphic novel excerpt based on a graphic novel that we were studying in class. Now, this was great, absolutely fantastic, loved this assessment task. However, I had some really kind of middle to lower ability students, and I knew that this would be like pushing absolute shit up a hill, and there'd be no way that these students would actually engage in this activity. So I knew, as a teacher who knew their students and how they learned, to find a solution. And that's where Pixton came in. I discovered Pixton, tried it out myself, played around with it, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this tool, give it a go, and see how it works with my students. And can I just say, revolutionary. So I used it with these students for the very first time, and it was great. I pretty much had a 100% engagement buy-in. Was the work great? No, but you know what? Small wins, big achievements. That's what we're looking for. So every student embraced using it. They created something. Did they all finish the assessment? No. Was it outstanding? No. But we all had a go, which is what I really wanted to do. I wanted them to be able to have a go at this and create something using this tool and do something that they'd be able to achieve. So that is why I found it to be a really fantastic tool, because everybody was able to have a go. Now, Pixton has been a tool that I have come back to over and over again, and I have consistently reused it with classes pretty much year in, year out, because it is something that is creative. It's something that is a little bit different, something that's a little bit unique, where we get to actually incorporate a variety of different text types, but we're using an edtech tool to create something for a particular purpose. So some of the things that I've done with Pixton, and I am an English teacher myself, is I have used Pixton to get students to create stories that are looking at things like holidays, because as part of one of my courses, we can do a module called On the Road, and I get students to create their dream holiday, a comic about their dream holiday. I've also had students do things like biographies and autobiographies. Okay, I've had students create different types of stories that might be based on something that we have been studying or looking at in class. So there are so many things you could do with Pixton. Pixton is not just limited to like English related things. I think you could use Pixton in science to show some kind of experiment, or maybe you're doing something looking at a particular scientist or scientific feature or element or something like that. So I think you could use it for science. You could do it for geography to show some kind of, deterioration or some kind of degradation with environments. Or you could be looking at different types of impacts on animals and plants and things like that. So you could be incorporating Pixton for geography. I think you could also do it for maths if you wanted to kind of look at some of those different mathematical elements, or you wanted to create some stories, some little graphics, some comics to show how to complete a particular mathematical concept or how to embed that and incorporate that. You could use Pixton. So I've talked about this time and time again. When it comes to EdTech in the classroom, it is really only limited by your imagination. If you can think it, you can probably create it and use it in the classroom. Pixton, it's a tool that I have loved for years and I keep coming back to over and over again. Let me just put that there so I can see myself a little bit. Pixton is so good, all right? Now, Pixton is a tool that I have invested in myself in the past, and this is why I have actually decided to financially contribute towards using this particular tool. So just like a lot of those really cool tools out there, they are freemium, which means they have free plans, then they have paid plans. On the free plans, you only get so many features, and sometimes those features are not enough for your students to really get the best out of what they're using. So I did subscribe and upgrade to a paid plan, and I found that to be really beneficial. So go and check out Pixton. Now, we have talked about it a couple of times on our YouTube channel, so if you want to know more about Pixton and maybe look at some of the different ways that you could use Pixton, I really encourage you to head over to the Tristan Heron YouTube channel and check out some of our videos looking at this marvelous tool. But Pixton, it's a really great tool to use in the classroom. I don't think enough people actually go out there and find different ways of doing things. I know I've talked about making sure that everything we do has a purpose and a point, and I think Pixton is a tool that you could use to replace some of those other methods that we might have been using forever and do something just a little bit different in the classroom. So go over, check out Pixton and see if you could use it or if you can add that to your EdTech toolkit. And while you're over there, don't forget to head over to the Tristan Heron YouTube channel. We are trying to get 1,000 subscribers. We would love to make it to 1,000 subscribers. So if you head over, and if you haven't done so already, just subscribe to our channel. It doesn't cost you a single cent, and it will make me the happiest person in the world. All right, so head over, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our videos, give them a big thumbs up so they start to be promoted to other educators so that we can share our love of EdTech with lots of other people so that we can make sure that we are creating those future-ready students. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us for this video. Go and check out Pixton. It's a really great tool and it's something that I keep coming back to over and over again. All right, until next time, everybody, stay safe. Bye.